For this wandering invitation, we are starting with a poem, A Date with Death, by Gina Porro. Death asked me to join him for dinner, so I slipped into my favorite black dress that I have been saving for special occasions and let him walk me to our Kinder tryst. He ordered a ribeye, extra rare, and I ordered 2 desserts and red wine. And then I sipped and wondered why he looked so familiar and smelled like earth and memory. He felt like a place both far away and deep within my body. A place that whispers to me on the crisp autumn breeze, along the liminal edges of dusk and dawn, somewhere between the dancing and the stillness. He looked at me with his endless night sky eyes and asked, "Did you live your life, my love?" So, as I swirled my wine in its glass, I wondered if I understood the thread I wove into the great fabric, if I loved in a way that was deep and freeing, if I let pain and grief carve me into something more grateful, if I have made enough space to be in awe that flowers exist, and take the time to watch the honeybees drink their sweet nectar. I wondered what the riddles of regret and longing had taught me, and if I realized just how beautiful and insignificant and monstrous and small we are for the brief moment that we are here before we all melt back down into ancestors of this land. As he leaned in close, said, "My darling, it's time." So I slipped my hand into his and he slowly walked me home. I took a deep breath as he leaned in close for the long kiss goodnight, and I felt a soft laugh leave my lips as his mouth met mine, because I never could resist a man with the lust for my soul in his eyes and a kiss that makes my heart stop.
So let this poem sink deep within you. And perhaps ponder about the fact that death might not be an enemy to run away from or to fight against. What if death is in fact a lover that has been courting us all along in order to invite us, in order to teach us how to live a deeper life? What if death sits across the table and there is candlelight flickering, and he whispers to our ear, "Darling, have you lived your life?" And so the very same question I'm asking you right now, darling, have you lived your life? We live in a culture that is terrified, mortified with death. Both the physical death, the carnal death, as well as the psychospiritual death, which is what we are mostly speaking about here. We are scared, so we hope, we beg hospitals, surgeries, beauty formulas, and potion medicines to spare us time, to give us just a little bit more time to live. Perhaps somewhere deep inside of us, the seed soul of our being knows that we haven't lived yet. Death is not far. It's right here. It is the smell of earth. It is the memory. exists in the wind of the autumn, exists on the edge of the dusk and dawn, exists in the dark cave of our own fear. To befriend death is to constantly walk with a companion that is reminding us about humbleness. It humbles us to the ground, to the earth, represents a mirror that looks straight into our eyes, not asking how long have you lived, but how deeply have you loved, how fully, how foolishly, how much you surrendered and offered yourself to this one wild and precious life. Death makes us, and death breaks us. And in the breaking, we are learning the language of transformation. To live with the consciousness of death is to live an awakened life, knowing that our days are finite, that our possibilities are not endless. Death is not a thief. It's not stealing something from us. Death is, in fact, an artist. It carves us and sculpts us into a more profound shape that can hold more meaning, so that we can show up more fully, more deeply, in a mythical way to life. The artistry of death is teaching us that beauty and fragility are inseparable. Death is not only an end, it is a threshold, it is a passage, a long kiss goodnight into the arms of the beloved, of mystery. So I'm inviting you to go on a wander, on a date with death, obviously. Put on the nicest dress, the most elegant pants, and perhaps you can take an offering with you, maybe some dessert, something sweet to delight your senses, or a symbolic art piece that could represent something that you are ready enough or not ready, but you know that you must let go of. You have to shed some skins, you have to say goodbye to some old identities. Be ready to be in dialogue, in deep conversation with death. Death herself, himself might ask you questions. Be ready for whatever it comes. We have to know, we have to live, to learn the art of dying while still being alive. Because only in this way we can meet the carnal death with the dignity that we have lived fully this life.